Hi guys, welcome back to the Oasis Healing Temple. My name is Brandy, and for today's reading, we're going to take a look at what doors are opening up for you in the month of June. There's been a lot of shifts in the collective, so I wanted to see what is coming in, what doors are opening, what's awakening. Each one's going to be different, so we're going to choose the door now. So for pile number 1, please, what door is opening for pile number 1? Pile number 1. All right, pile number 2. What door is opening for those who choose pile number 2? Ooh. And we're going to have you choose your pile number 3, by the key. Pile number 3. And then we'll reveal the door at the beginning of your reading. Okay, these are the 3 doors. And now let me show you the key. Alright, so pile number 1, this is your key. Pile number 2, this is your key. And for pile number 3, this is your key. Alright, pause the video if you need more time to meditate. The timestamps will be listed in the description box below, and I'll see you all at your readings. Hello everyone who chose pile number 1, and you chose this key right here. And I'm not sure if y'all noticed this, but I did when I was showing it to you in the introduction. But it looks like a person who's standing there with their arms on their hips, and it appears they seem to be a little bit bow-legged, but there's this energy that is like radiating around them. And I don't know if some of you may be healers, so I feel like there's this energy coming out of their hands and it's grounding here into the earth. So there's something to do with that, and our hands represent our ability to give and receive. It's also the balance of the masculine and feminine energies. Well, let's see what door this key is going to open for you, pile number 1. And you have the door of discovery, exploration, uncovering, learning, insight, and enlightenment. Ooh, how pretty is that? So I'm feeling like the wheel here. A new beginning, a change, a shift. So you're going to be discovering something. You're on a path of learning and discovering at the moment. And we have, insight and enlightenment. So something's going to be revealed, some kind of truth. I'm going to be learning something new. Let's get a few tarot cards, actually. Now, I'm still in my tarot class, so I still have my learning tarot cards to help me along. Let's see, this one and these 4. Let's get one more. Okay. Alright, so we got a lot. Let's see what insight the tarot has. So we have the Ace of Swords. That's nice. Awareness, insight, some new beginning, new perception, a truth, a vision, an epiphany for you. We have the 2 of Wands. Oops, we're going to read these all face side up. Yeah. Charting a new course. So there is an adventure, steps moving forward. Get ready because there is something new. Like I said, there's an adventure ahead for you. Ooh, you're going on an adventure of self-discovery, perhaps. So you have the 9 of Cups. It's about emotional fulfillment, feeling complete. Maybe you're on a path of discovery for things that make you feel complete. things that make you feel happy, make you feel satisfied. You may have some choices with the Ace of Swords. I felt Archangel Michael, and he, holds the sword of truth, the sword of power and protection, and being able to cut the cords, being able to see beyond the illusion. So I feel like some truth is going to be revealed to you that's going to involve some decisions to make about choosing yourself, choosing things that make you feel happy, that make you feel satisfied, that make you feel complete, content. We have the Nine of Wands, a test of faith. Okay. So you're at the completion of something. You're at the finish line. You're almost at the end. There's just one more battle, one more decision, one more choice. This is about, that when you're at the finish line and you have like no energy and you're just pulling from your reserves, but you're almost there and you can see the finish line. And this is where that extra amount of, faith and endurance and push through, you're almost at the end. Give it the last bit of energy that you have, give it all you have. It's kind of like the final test, maintain your ground, maintain your position. If this is about setting healthy boundaries for yourself and making those choices to choose yourself, it's about self-discovery, learning who you are, being confident in who you are, making decisions, cutting cords, setting healthy boundaries for yourself, and choosing what makes you happy. And being persistent in choosing yourself without guilt, without feeling guilty. I just said that. Without feeling bad, or, that you're not allowed to be happy, you're not allowed to put yourself first, or that you're selfish in any kind of way. 2, 4, 6. Alright, we'll get this one here. Page of Swords, the thirst for knowledge. Okay, so you're on the path of seeking, which is exactly what the Door of Discovery is about. That Page of Swords, there's something that you're seeking. You're very perceptive. Maybe there's something that needs to be communicated for you, to you. Wanting a relationship that feels balanced, that feels fair, that reciprocity of love and equal give and receive energies here. But I feel like you're definitely somebody who's on the beginning path. You're young. This is something new for you. You're not used to choosing yourself first. I feel like you're somebody who's always given a lot to other people. With this person who has that I was seeing at the beginning here. You're somebody who pours energy onto others, and now it's time for you to receive. For you to discover what it feels like to receive your love. Queen of Coins. Nice. Yes, it's time for you to receive love, to receive nurturing energy, to love yourself, to pour love into yourself, to nurture yourself, care for yourself, being more, seeing your worth and seeing your value, and knowing your worth and your value. It's becoming that goddess energy, or that king energy, where you're sitting on your throne, and not from an egotistical way, but from a place where, you're not settling for somebody who's manipulative, or somebody who doesn't care how they make you feel, or if you find that someone has hurt your feelings, or you're not right, you're feeling like you're moving in the right direction, and you're vulnerable enough to have the conversation or to mention it to, your partner and they just want to attack you and shame you and how dare you, you know, point out a flaw or something like that. And not that you're doing it because you're pointing out flaws, it's because there's, you know, the energy doesn't feel good. The love doesn't feel good. It doesn't make you feel like they care. It doesn't make you feel like you're supported. And so you're bringing it to their attention so they are aware of how they're making you feel by their actions or their inactions, you know, and it's just teaching others how to love you. And if they don't want to understand and validate the way that they make you feel or explain why they do certain things the way that they do them, you know, unconsciously realizing what it's making you feel like, you know, and then agreeing to change or shift or do something different so it's no longer hurting you, you know, or not making you feel good. And look, then why are we in a partnership together, you know? And so it's learning to be comfortable by setting those healthy boundaries for yourself. And if an individual doesn't want to, you know, work with you and build the bridge versus tearing the bridge down, then it's time to set a boundary, distance yourself from that individual, and make that choice to say, I deserve happiness, I deserve to feel good, I deserve somebody to care about me and want to give as much to the relationship as I do. Okay, I'm going to pause the video because the goats are coming. Okay. Let's move forward. We have the Eight of Cups here. Walking away, exactly. Releasing what doesn't serve you. You know, it doesn't feel emotionally fulfilling. And that's what you're discovering, is what does feel good to me? What makes me feel loved? What makes me feel supported? What makes me feel nurtured? You know, or like somebody really cares? What makes me feel included? What inspires me? What makes me feel like I want to grow? I want to move forward, you know, those types of things, and letting go of anything else and setting those healthy boundaries for yourself that says, I deserve this type of love and I'm not going to settle for anything less. You know, it's not fixing anybody or, you know, settling for somebody who, oh, he's got a, you know, he had a troubled past, or she had a troubled past, and you know, because their childhood and the way they were raised, you know, this is why they treat people a certain kind of way or treat me a certain kind of way, and, you know, tolerating it because you're giving them this excuse and you're saying to yourself that I don't deserve them to treat me with respect, and it's, you know, it makes you feel like you're less than in some way. You aren't the one who caused that trauma to them. They should want to love you and appreciate you and see you for who you are, not see you through the eyes of their pain, okay? So, and you shouldn't give excuses for people who treat you, you know, like crap, who are disrespectful, who don't care how you feel. That's not the type of love that you deserve. And so when you start setting, like, standards for yourself and you start knowing your worth and your value, and you quit settling for the less than energies, start pouring love into yourself, appreciation and gratitude for yourself, acknowledge your heart, acknowledge who you are, and know that you are so worthy and so loving. And you will start to attract people who see those boundaries, who see how much you love yourself, and they want to reciprocate that type of energy. You know, they want to pour that same type of energy into you because now your standards are up higher. So you're going to attract people who are that standard versus, you know, settling for less than you deserve. Oh, we have an emotional eclipse coming through. Deep emotional cleansing. Okay, so this is going to take you a little bit of time, but the lunar eclipse, they're also about, you know, revealing something to us, revealing something that's hidden, something that you might not have seen before. It illuminates, you know, something that's been buried, and it brings it to the surface to be revealed, like self-examination, you know, or it's time to work on this lesson. This is something, a pattern, a cycle that you've been in, a loop, that needs your healing so that you can evolve out of it. It's time for you to grow out of this pattern so that you can attract more happiness, more success, more feel-good energies, a proper mate, those types of energies into your life, and then understanding, why do I settle for less than I'm worth? And most of the time it has to do with something in your childhood that made you feel like you weren't good enough, or that your feelings didn't matter. Oh, we have the Four of Wands. Yay! This is about victory, celebrating, reaching a milestone. And it's also about setting that healthy foundation for yourself. A foundation that shows the type of love that you want, because you yourself are loving yourself in that way. You're not settling for anybody who treats you less than you are worthy of. It's about finding that match, that partner, that love. And to be honest, like when you go on the path of self-discovery and self-love and self-healing, you discover that, you discover that the love you've been looking for has been within you all along, that it's your love that you've been missing because you've been ignoring how you feel. And it's something that has been taught to us in our childhood, because when children are young, children don't understand their emotions. They immediately respond to how they feel. They immediately will cry when they're angry, when they're angry, when they're happy. They just express them, they let them flow until there comes some moment, some experience that forces them to, shut down and feel like it's inappropriate for you to, to cry at this moment when you're sad, or to, want attention in this moment when your parents are, children don't really understand what parents are going through, because parents, children can't understand adult situations and stresses. Their children are living in their own moment. They're in the present. They're not looking at their parents and going, oh, they're stressed out. Let me not run and get their attention right now. You know what I mean? So sometimes we experience trauma. We get yelled at certain times when we're just being silly and being goofy. And so sometimes children can just shut down, or, maybe you're somebody who got bullied and picked on at school, which is what happened to me. And it made me feel like I was different. There was something wrong with me. And so I hid away, you put the mask on, you try to blend in, you try to fit in as much as you can so that you don't stick out and you don't get picked on. And then eventually, of course, as I started getting older and started to see beyond delusion and that everybody's wearing a mask and nobody's really being themselves, I just decided I didn't care what anybody thought, and I'm just going to be who I am, and those who like me will be drawn to me and want to be my friend, and those who don't like me, I don't need their approval. And I just lived my life that way and have ever since I've been older. But it doesn't mean I still don't have that wound, that I needed to heal as I got older. Okay, so I've had to pause your video a couple times, pile number one. And I have this mother goat who has been injured, and she's separated from the herd, and she's calling out to letting them all know that she's okay and that she's here. But she's staying close to the house right here beside me, and she's been nibbling on the grass over here, but she keeps every now and then, she'll let them know that she's here, that she's okay. And I feel like that is very symbolic of maybe what some of you need right now. You need to give yourself that same confirmation, hugging yourself, staying close to, your heart, and letting yourself know that it's okay, you're here. Whatever you need to express, whatever you need to release, cry, say out loud, communicate. If you have a friend that you trust, that you feel safe with, definitely recommend, if there's something that you need to say or get out, or even if this has to do with your parents, if they're open to helping you understand, things from your childhood that you may still have unresolved feelings about, I definitely would try to have that conversation. I mean, that's only if you have those types of parents. But there's this beautiful celebration, and I feel like it's you. You need to celebrate yourself and everything that you've overcome, everything that you've been through, and you still have such a beautiful, bright heart. You know, you didn't let what happened to you be something that made you bitter and resentful. You know, you kept your heart open, and you still poured love, you know, onto others. You still have a forgiving and loving heart, and it's time for you to remember your worth and your value, and not to settle for anything less than. All right, let's see your final tarot. We have the Three of Wands. I love it. Manifesting your dreams. Yeah, this is, things are coming together for you, whether you see it on the physical or not. Things are starting to move forward. We have like this, a huge level up for you. It's like early success, and it's time for you to celebrate. Yeah, celebrate yourself. We have this happy couple. We have two of them here, and then we have these group of friends who are, you know, celebrating. So there's something for you to celebrate. This may have been something that you've been working on, and you've come to the place of completion, and it's time for you to celebrate this love that you have generated within your own being. Yeah, I feel like you are the Queen of Coins. You know your worth, and you're so successful. You're gonna be successful. You know, take what resonates for you and what you're going through in your situation, as these are collective readings. So let's get one more here, since we have this empty space. Pile number 1. Can we get one more here? Manifesting your dreams, celebrating a union, and this could be the union within your own heart and mind. You know, your divine masculine and feminine energies, healing the inner child here, taming the ego. Can we get one more card, please? Finish up this. Okay. I don't think it's, okay, there we go. We have the Emperor. Ooh, nice. The divine masculine. Yes, you know your worth, you know your power. This is about being in your strength and your authority, knowing who you are, knowing your worth. And if that's not where you are at the moment, this is the path that you're heading towards. You're coming into this place of knowing, you know, knowing your worth and knowing your value. And it's, you know, this individual sitting on the throne. I love that, because that's where you need to put yourself. And it's not from an egotistical way, like I was saying. It's just from a place of you honoring your heart, honoring when somebody hurts your feelings, and knowing how to set a healthy boundary for yourself. Anybody that can talk to you and disrespect you in that kind of way, or betray you, not care how they make you feel, that's not somebody who deserves your whole heart. You know, your heart is very tender and delicate, and if you can see it as like, you know, it's glass, it's very fragile. And when you expose your whole heart to somebody who just doesn't care, and they're ruthless, they just are disrespectful all the time, they try to gaslight you and turn things around on you, stomp on your heart, stomp on your hurt feelings, they could care less, you know. They don't deserve your heart. They don't deserve that close connection to you. You need to set those healthy boundaries so that they're not allowed into your inner circle. That's somebody that you can have a distance from. It doesn't mean that you hate them. It means I can have love for you as a person and as a soul, because of what you went through is causing you to act out of your pain, but I don't deserve to be treated that way by you. So I'm going to set this healthy boundary. I don't need your approval for anything. I don't actually need anything from you. You have taught me valuable lessons about where I need to love myself and place more value on my heart and the love and the energy that I have and what I bring to a relationship. Okay. All right, so that was the tarot. I don't want the reading to go too long, so we'll go ahead and get into these. Look, we have the Three of Fire. Yeah, that journey, this individual who was, you know, on a quest. And this is you. You are on a quest, that path of self-discovery. What are you learning? We have body and mind. Nice. Yeah, and see, I have that with the divine masculine and feminine here. Taming the ego. And look, that's awesome. So we have the energies going down here, and now there's these energies flowing from the heart up. So this is like the completion now. The energy is starting to move upwards versus downwards, which is great, because then you're going to be receiving more insight, more downloads, more understanding, more awareness, more truth, learning how to be balanced in your body and your mind, listening to your heart, staying centered and focused in your heart, where the heart and the mind are in balance. They're communicating. Your divine masculine is setting those healthy boundaries and not allowing you to be disrespected, or not allowing you to overexert your energy and pour into other people's cups without pouring into your own cup first. And then listening to your heart, which allows you to be sympathetic and compassionate and understanding, but it's also loving yourself, forgiving yourself as much as you can quickly forgive others, but we have a hard time learning to forgive ourselves. And it's definitely something that takes us time until you get to that place where you're like, I understand why I was doing what I was learning in these experiences. So even though I wish I would have maybe learned them sooner, but that's who I was. That's my consciousness. That was my awareness at the time when I was young. And I accept and appreciate everything, because everything has helped create the person that I am today, and it's having that appreciation for yourself. But you're going to be receiving a lot of wisdom. You're going to be your true self, removing all the mask. Yeah, I love that for you. Ooh, look. And we have the 4 of Fire here. And it's about your truth, And we have that over here above the manifesting your dreams, and it's focusing on what is it that you want to create for yourself. What do you want to achieve moving forward? What are you passionate about? Being able to see somebody who is a manipulative person, or somebody who is genuine and authentic and truly just wants to be, your friend or a partner in relationship with you, because they value you. They value your love. They respect your love. They know your strength. It's that eagle eye, very perceptive. Oh my goodness, we have the masculine and feminine coming out. That's what's up. Yes, and I love how we have the body and mind and masculine and feminine. It's holding that balance, knowing your worth, knowing your value. And when we reach that balance within, where we are still open-hearted, our mind isn't fearful, it's not coming from an egotistical place, or, worried about the past, or feeling guilted if you don't do something, or guilted if you are needing to relax or take care of yourself in any kind of way. When the ego is tamed, the ego can become our closest ally, our best friend, our big cheerleader, that gives us confidence, versus tearing us down, and that comes from healing. That comes from you pouring into your own cup, you learning to set those healthy boundaries for yourself, saying, I deserve somebody to treat me like this. And you end up training your mind, how to speak to you, how to talk to you, what to look for, how to manifest, how to create for you, versus, making you fearful and keeping you in a place of the past, or in a place of, feeling less than. You end up becoming more, it feels like you have a partner within you, already, like you're whole unto yourself, and you don't need anybody outside of yourself, even though we enjoy company and we love having people in our lives and someone to share our life with, but we are meant to be whole within. And our partner is us. It's how we love ourselves, and the love that we pour into ourselves eventually becomes the love that we receive from the world, from other individuals who see our worth and our value, because we've learned to see our worth and our value. Ooh, look at that one, 8 of fire. Ooh, you got a lot of fire here. A lot of transformation, a lot of change. Look at that. We have these wings on this beautiful angel here, and she's got the third eye open, so it's able to see your truth, see your value. I feel like there's going to be a lot of cleansing coming in for you with this fire here. A lot of transformation, a lot of things that are changing. You're going to see a lot of change in your world and your reality. You're going to see the results of all of your hard work. Pile number 1. Yeah, we have enlightenment, understanding, the truth being revealed. Ooh, and it's going to be fast. It's quick moving energies. Big shifts. Ooh, we got the temple. Yay. Look at all this growth. This is healing coming into your vessel, into your heart, into your mind. Lots of confirmation here. The temple, it's creating that inner temple within, that sacred space within your own vessel, making your inner temple a safe space for your higher self to come in, so that your true self can feel safe in a physical body. If you don't feel safe here, and you don't feel like you can trust people or trust the world, or you're in a fearful state, like your higher self doesn't want to join in on the party, you know what I mean? They're like, oh no, if you don't feel safe in there, I'm not going to feel safe in there. So it's creating that sacred space within, and having that healthy body, mind, healthy heart and mind connection, that healthy feminine and masculine energy within. And when you go through the purifying flames and cleanse and purge any of these old stories, old patterns, old ways of, old habits, old tolerances for lower vibrational behavior, because you didn't know your worth and you didn't know your value, but now you do, and you're creating that sacred space within that says, I'm not tolerating disrespect. I'm not tolerating somebody who doesn't see my worth and my value, who doesn't see all the love that I give, all the forgiveness that I offer, all the generosity that I have of heart. If somebody doesn't see me for who I am, then, it's time to move forward, because I know who I am. I know my heart. I know my intentions, and I deserve somebody who sees that and honors that, and because you're doing that work, you're creating that safe space for your divine partner, your higher self, to join you in that temple. So it's creating that sacred space for your higher self to come and join you, which then creates that harmony and that balance of your masculine and feminine self within. Ooh, you got the unseen, the hidden worlds, the part of you that is within this temple, and you're creating that space for you to connect and to see your true self, your divine self, to remember your divine self. Pile number 1. And you got the forest. Let's see. Yeah, maybe you've had a hard time remembering who you are. With everything just clouding your vision, things have been blocking you from seeing your truth, from seeing your divinity, from connecting and knowing who you really are. The forest here. I can also say, the more time you spend in nature, the more connected you're going to feel to your higher self, because it gives you time to pause and to rest and to contemplate, be open and receptive, being that receptive vessel for your divine self to communicate to you. and spending time in nature, it slows our energy down. It slows us down so that we're more present in the moment. You know, our senses are engaged when we're walking in nature or walking through the garden or taking a walk, just or sitting by the beach. You know, your senses are engaged. There's beauty around us. There's animals. There's, you know, insects, butterflies, creatures, the smells, the beauty of the sky, the land, the trees, you know, the breeze, all those things. That's the presence of source, of spirit, of God, of the creator, you know, moving through everything. And so you're more open and receptive when you're in nature. And I feel like your third eye is going to be definitely opened here, because we have several different images with the third eye. And then we have the eye here. So there's going to be some signs, some synchronicities, something's going to be revealed to you. You're going to be receiving these insights, you know, learning so much about yourself, about who you are, perhaps what you're here for, why you incarnated, the mission you chose when you came here. All right, let's see what else. You get the ancestor card, historical connections and purposes. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so confirmation about your purpose coming through. Your ancestors are rooting for you. And this is card number 28, which is a 10. And it is about cycles, the end of cycles, but the beginning of a new cycle, you know. And the healing that you do for yourself is going to be the healing that you bring to your ancestors. You know, everybody who incarnates, we all take on some of the work. You know, it's too much for us all to do by ourselves at once. And so each ancestor that incarnates takes on some of the life lessons, some of the shadows, some of the darkness, some of the illusion and the fear. And each ancestor does their best to transmute it, to find the truth, to heal it, to bring it to the generations that come after. So just know that your ancestors are rooting for you. They're supporting you. Some of you may have a connection to some, you know, I got tribal energy coming through here. It could be Native American. It could be the indigenous. It could be Mayan. You know, anything that you feel a connection to. Take what resonates. Oh, you got the world. A new cycle. More confirmation. Karmic completion. Woohoo! Congratulations. Pile number 1. Fulfillment. Success after the quests and success. Success is yours. The healing that you do for yourself it is karmic. It is healing. You're healing your ancestors, and they are so happy for you. It's a new beginning, a new cycle. And you have inner child healing. Yes, yes, yes. It's exactly what's coming through for your reading. The path of healing your inner child, those wounds from the past, learned behaviors, and look, we have self-discovery. You're learning to protect your inner child, protect your heart. You are the one who says who's allowed in your life, who's not allowed, who isn't somebody who is who's going to honor your heart and respect you. All right, final card, we have the sacred pool. Ooh, look at that. This is cleansing and healing energy coming in for you, pile number 1, and it's 47, which is 11. Beautiful, beautiful. Awakening, enlightenment, trusting your intuition, knowing you have a higher purpose. The sacred pool offers you cleansing, it's healing. It's also potential, right? Your potential to create, to manifest your desires, your dreams, your hopes. Think of it as the, like the womb, okay? The womb of potential. You can create and manifest, you know, the life that you want, the relationships that you want, by you healing that inner child and holding sacred space. This is your new world, your new cycle, and you're the one who's helping to create and manifest it for yourself. It's so exciting, pile number 1. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations on all the work that you're doing. And the phase that you are coming into, that door of self-discovery. I'm so happy. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm going to close your reading now. If this reading resonated with you guys, I would love to hear from you in the comments if you feel like sharing your story. If you don't know what to say, just let me know pile number 1 resonated with you. I look forward to seeing you all in future readings. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next reading. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Hi everyone who chose pile number 2. Those of you who are drawn to this key here. And what I see for you, just in the keys, we have this cross right here. So I feel like you are perhaps at a place of choice and decision. You've met some kind of crossroads, or you're at a crossroad. Alright, let's see what the door is. The key unlocks the door to, of illumination. This is enlightenment, insight, radiance, revelation, and awareness. And look, there's this path ahead. The crossroads. So there's a choice, a decision, something is illuminating for you. So you're going to be receiving some type of insight here. I'm going to pull some tarot for you guys. Let's put the key here. I'll make sure this is on camera. Alright, let's see. Pile number 2, please. Ooh. Let's get some insight. What doors are opening? Wow, doors are opening for pile number 2. Alright, maybe 1 or 2 more. Pile number 2. Okay, we're gonna take them. Alright, let's see what we got for you. Pile number 2. We have the 3 of Cups. So some type of coming together. We have the Knight of Wands. Ooh, very fast energy. Looking confident. Let's see what else we got. New beginnings. With the new moon here. Setting your intentions. Let's see, we've got working together with others to create something new. What are you working on? We have the Death card. So maybe some big shifts coming in for you. The end of something, but there's also the beginning of something new for you, pile number 2. Some kind of revelation and insight. We have the Queen of Swords. Inner strength. Alright, let's see. So there's something that there's an ending that has taken place, and it's something that you have been very successful at. There's this coming together of parts. There's something new that is manifesting in your world currently. Soon to be manifested here. And yeah, I feel like you have learned to set some healthy boundaries. You are very easily, you can see the truth now. Yeah, maybe there's been people in your life who have been very, manipulative, gossipy. there's this support as well. I feel like you are somebody who's very supportive of others. And you have, you're a very strong, sharp-minded person. You're very, very wise. I feel like you are somebody who could see the truth a mile away. Like you can tell when somebody's trying to manipulate you, when somebody's trying to deceive you or gaslight you. Let's see what else we have. We have the waning moon. Gaining wisdom. New perspectives. Having patience here. Alright, yeah, so like I was saying, there's the end of something, but there's something new coming in as well. And we got the Two of Coins. Being able to adapt, to juggle. Perhaps you could be creating something, that's from your creative gifts and talents, and you also are trying to maintain like your 3D job, right? Your day-to-day, pay my bills kind of thing, but there's also something on the side that you're creating. But I feel like you are somebody who is meant to, teach others, because you're able to see, both sides of a coin here. You're able to understand situations, be able to see the different timelines, to understand how somebody can be the way they are, why they can perceive things the way that they do. And you're able to bring people together from like different sides of the coin here. Being able to see two different sides. I get like a little bit of Gemini energy, maybe some Pisces energy here, Libra, maybe Leo, because we have a leadership quality coming through. You're able to make those decisions that other people might have a hard time, and people look up to you to make those choices because you're the right person for the job. You're able to think quick. You've already thought of everybody's, it's for everybody's intentions, everybody's best outcome. I feel like you're that type of person, pile number 2. And you have such a bright light about you that other people are drawn to and look up to. But you're very good at making choices. We have the 9 of Coins. Ooh, that's amazing. So there's some abundance that's going to come in for you. I feel like, yeah, you're stepping up into a leadership. If you haven't already, you're stepping up into a leadership role. Yeah, something is, you could be getting a promotion. Or stepping out of the corporate world and creating like your own business. Because we have self-sufficiency coming through with the 9 of Coins. Like you have been building a foundation for a long time, and you've been putting in the work, you've been putting in the effort, and now your rewards is starting to come in. You're starting to be seen for who you are. We got the World. Nice. So we have the end of a cycle, the beginning of a new. You have achieved something. There's some success. You've had a big accomplishment in your world. Things are starting to come together for you. Some of you may be traveling, which may involve that promotion that's coming in for you guys. Some of you may be going on, traveling to learn something new. Last card, we have the 9 of Swords. Nine of Swords. Ooh, yeah, it has been pretty hard. Let's get a final card here, because I feel like, yeah, you have been battling a lot of things. Pile number 2. And perhaps it's been, we have that under the Death card with starting something new, the ending of something, the end of worries, the end of the fears. perhaps you were in a place where you weren't sure the direction you were going. Maybe there was a little bit of fear, a little bit of anxiety about, what's going to happen, if you were going to be successful, if you're going to achieve this dream. And you've come to the place of success, the end of all that hard work, being able to see the truth of the illusion, that fear, that with the illumination, the door of illumination, seeing beyond the fears. All right, we have the Seven of Swords coming out, and it's in the reverse, and it says, straighten the record. Oh wait, no, we're going to take it straight up like everybody else. Seven of Swords, not what it seems. Yeah, I feel like you have been learning. You've been learning a lot. You're somebody who's very strategic, because we have a lot of air coming through here. So you have been cutting those cords, cutting away the illusions, facing the illusion, standing up to those fears, acknowledging where they come from, valuing yourself. Most of the time, the Seven of Swords is about somebody who's learning, learning the enemy's tactics so that they can, battle them. But it can also be about betrayal too. But I feel like for you, you've been learning, learning how to play the game, right? Learning how to see beyond the illusion, learning to see the truth, cutting away all the static and the noise and everything that tries to keep us in a place of, repression, suppression, oppression, all those things that are meant to hold us back from seeing our truth, from acknowledging our worth, our value, our light, our power. But yeah, there's this new beginning for you. This new light, this new awareness, new perceptions, new understandings, a new cycle. And it says reevaluate your plans, but I feel like you are somebody who does, you contemplate your next move. You're very strategic in that way. Alright, so let's see what this door of illumination wants to reveal to you. We have knowledge. Oh, yay! So look at that. So we have this individual here who's, holding up the light, and he's, educating himself. So I feel like you have been seeking, you've been learning, trying to understanding where the fears come from, understanding the powers, seeing the truth behind the mask. You could be somebody, maybe you've been practicing ritual, which is definitely, I do recommend, cord cuttings and cleansings and balancings and the meditations and everything. But this individual, I feel like, you spend a lot of time in nature, working with the elements and everything too. And if not, this will be a part of your journey ahead here. Seeking the knowledge, seeking the wisdom. Yeah, studying, learning. Oh my goodness, look at this one. We have the Seven of Air. Yeah, look at this. Training your thoughts, mastering the mind here. Seeing the truth, cutting the cords, seeing beyond the illusion. Wow. And I love that we have the black and white here, this duality, which is what the earth is at the moment. It is a place of duality. It's a school where we're learning the contrast of energies, and the duality that exists here. We have light, we have darkness, we have female, we have male, we have night, we have day, We have good, we have bad, we have love, we have hate. You know, that is the duality. And it's learning to find the balance that both exist and both can be true at the same time. But it's being, you know, neutral in that and being the observer and allowing both to exist and both to be, you know, true. But we are the ones who can make those choices. We're the ones who have the ability to choose what we want to engage in, the energies we want to, you know, entertain. Do we choose to, you know, inflict pain when others inflict pain on us? Or do we learn how to set healthy boundaries and walk away from those individuals and let, you know, karma do its work, you know, let the cycle come back around? Because it does, it comes full circle. Everything that you do is recorded, you know, recorded in the book, in the Akashic records of the type of soul that you are and the choices that you make, and you know, the lessons that you've learned or you haven't learned. And I feel like you are somebody who is definitely very studious and wanting to learn more about yourself, wanting to learn more about the energies and how to work with them. You could be taking a course, doing some kind of study, trying to learn some of the esoteric wisdom and knowledge. Some of you could be seeking a spiritual teacher, a spiritual guide. What else do we have? We have the seneschal? I'm not sure how you say that. I forget what she represents. Let me check the book for her. But I see this, look at this, the little dog, you know, loyalty, the keys. Yeah, there's some kind of, yeah, you're looking for wisdom, the ancient keys, ancient codes. Ooh, and the dog. Sirius, some of you may resonate with the star, the Sirius collectives, which is part of the, you know, is our spiritual sun. They are a collective of ancient beings who are helping Earth to ascend. Okay, let me see. She is number 12. What is this? That is an Earth sign. 180. Okay. She is the servant, the mediator, justice, law, trustworthy and loyal. Nice. Service to a higher purpose, loyalty to authority, speaking for others. Is your power real or borrowed? Follow the rules or the directions that are given. Use your personal power wisely. Question everything. Blind loyalty makes one blind. So this being is a very powerful being. And your message says, let's read this. The seneschal of Earth symbolizes the service to king and country. The seneschal is a trusted servant who has access to and control over all within his Lord's domain. While being of noble blood himself, is in service to and speaks for the one above. Wow, I thought it was a female and it's a male. Wow. Which is so wild because it's androgynous, right? And it's the balance between the masculine and feminine, or it's just whole. His duties are many. He's respected by some and feared by others, for he holds the keys to both the treasury and the dungeon. He is both the judge and the mediator within the halls and the lands of the kingdom. He upholds the law and metes out justice in the name of his lord and lady. He also controls his master's wealth, giving payment to those who are owed and collecting taxes from those who owe. That is amazing. I love that this card came out as we were talking about duality, right? So this is about justice being served, you know, and the ability to make those choices and karma. and working hard. And when you work hard and you put the effort in, then you reap those rewards, and it's not saying that everything we do, we're looking to receive something from it, but the universe, collects those debts. We don't have to do anything. We just have to, do what's in our heart, do what's right to our soul, be an honorable person, honor our word. If we commit to doing something, we honor that commitment. When we do what's right, it's that justice, justice being served, and having the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding to know when to act, when not to act, when to, walk away, when to fight the battle, when is this something that I need to say yes to, when is this something I need to say no to. It's being able to discern, right from wrong, to discern from illusion and truth. Okay, let's see what else we have. Dun, 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 dun. We have the king. Oh, perfect. And it was coming out with this. The Lord of the land, right? Lord of land and country, or was it king and country? So that is so wow. This is about you commanding, and being sovereign in your own energy, within your own being, knowing who you are, knowing your power, knowing your ability to create, being that person that is like a true leader, a true king, somebody that others want to follow because they are an appropriate leader. They wouldn't want somebody going on a mission or doing something that they themselves haven't done or wouldn't do, and it's keeping everybody's, best interest at heart. And making sure that everybody's needs are being met, not just mine and only me matter, that selfishness or that tyrant who has the big belly and taxes the entire country, and there's poor homeless people everywhere and they could care less that they're dying on the streets. A true king is somebody who cares about their country. They care about the people. They aren't living high on the hog while everybody's in suffering. That's not a true king. That's not a true leader. People want somebody they can follow. They want somebody that they can look up to and aspire to become. It's about being, it's like so sad. It's like being a good person. Damn. There's so few people out there that are like that, somebody that you can aspire to look after. I don't know if any of you read. I've been watching Outlander, so and Jamie's like one of the lead characters and everything, and that to me is a true leader. That is the divine masculine in human form. He cares about his wife, he cares about his people, he does what's right in his heart, and he can't go against his his morals and his compass and his heart. That's somebody that I would follow. We need more leaders like that. And this is about you becoming your highest, most authentic self, and shining your light, honoring your truth, seeing the truth, cutting the truth beyond the illusion, and standing in your power and doing what's right, and offering a hand to help those who are in need. I feel like you are definitely somebody who's able to delegate and play to people's strengths, which makes everybody feel included, makes everybody feel, their success is your success. You're that type of person, pile number 2. Those of you who are drawn to this reading. And what do we have? Oh, we have Alethea, and this is about the truth, separating truth from illusion, being able to extract the lesson from the experience. I love that. And we have this black and white coming out again, which was sticking out in the other card. Being able to walk that line, understanding that sometimes we're not allowed to interfere with other people's lessons and other people's journey. If somebody was to come and help and ask for your wisdom, that's when, we are able to share wisdom and offer some kind of guidance and support. But if they're not actively seeking and wanting to know, how to move forward or how to overcome something in your wisdom, then you're just, wasting your energy. And so that's why it is definitely highly advised that you stand in your strength and you uphold I won't say it's like a rule, but I mean, it kind of should be in a sense. But if people aren't doing the work, and you're trying to guide people who don't truly care or want change, you're just wasting your breath, you're wasting your energy, you're wasting your healing on people who don't necessarily want it. Sometimes you can be seen as a meddler or a know-it-all, or you may end up becoming the bad guy because in their sense, you manipulated them or planted some kind of seed, that kind of thing. And sometimes people just like to be a victim and sit in their narrative, in the story that they've created, so that they're receiving something from the experience. And it could be like pity from others or attention from others, because it's the only way they know how to get their needs met is by holding on to this narrative and this story. And it's being able to discern who is somebody who is just, they don't really have the intention of wanting to learn and to grow. They really just want somebody to, pour love into them, give them attention, or they don't really have anything else to talk about in their life. So they just keep repeating this narrative and this story over and over again. So, but until they learn to discern what is teaching them, what is this experience teaching me, what am I learning from it, what do I need, what have I outgrown, those kinds of things, it requires them to be on the seeking path. And in order for them to even understand or to receive the knowledge and the wisdom that you're offering to them. So make sure, pile number 2, that you are, because you are a teacher, that those who you are offering your wisdom to are those who are actively seeking and growing and wanting to change, versus just anybody and everybody, because you have this mission to maybe speak your truth and shine light on the illusions and everything, and not everybody's open and receptive, and not everybody's on that journey yet. So reserve some of your energy for yourself and discern who is actively seeking versus who's just attention seeking. And we have the prayer. That's what I'm saying. Those who are reaching out, to receive help, those are the ones that you are meant to be working with. Those are the ones that you're helping to set free from the illusions that they may be stuck in. And there may be something that you've been, prayer, yeah, I feel like there's something that you're meant, like I said, you're a teacher, you're meant to help guide others. If you didn't know that, now is the time. Now you're being given this message that you are here to enlighten others of the truth, to break them out of the cycles and the patterns that they may find themselves. And we have these hands that are reaching out, and like you are somebody who wants to help others, but it's learning and discerning who is somebody who's ready to receive this wisdom and this knowledge that I have. Achievement, completions, and rewards. Woohoo! That's amazing. Congratulations. And it's so funny because we had that over the world card. So you're coming to a place of completion, the end of some cycle and the beginning of a new one. And it's card number 16, which is a 7. Like I said, you're somebody who's very determined. You're very spiritual. You're very wise. You're very accomplished. You've worked so hard for everything that you've gotten, for all the wisdom that you've attained. And it's not something that should be just given away lightly. You know, it has to go to people who truly are deserving of it. You know, they're actively growing, they're actively seeking, they're doing the work. Those are the ones that you're just helping them along and reminding them of their own light and their own strength and their ability to do it. Like I said, you are a leader too. We have North Node, destiny. This is your destiny. You're meant to lead others. You're meant to guide them. This is your fate. Until death tears us apart. Saturn. Oh, yes. Of Saturn we have structures, learning karmic lessons, maturity. Yeah, Saturn is it's the father, which is so funny. We have that under the king, right? So it's having that structure, having these systems in place, and there has to be structure, else there would be complete chaos, right? And that's what is so wild about working with the dualities. We have chaos and we have structure, and so we have to work with both of those elements, because from chaos is where we create, and that's how we create structure. So it's taking from nothing to create something, and it's working with the elements, right? And you know how to do that, pile number 2. You are here to help other people implement structures in their life, to teach them how to work with the energies, learn themselves, decipher truth, extract the truth from the illusion, from the darkness, to shine their light, to remember and rekindle their inner flame and their own power, and how to activate and engage in their own power, to remember their power. And Saturn is also the karmic teacher, right? So you reap what you sow. And because you have come to this place, you are about to receive a lot of blessings coming in for you. Do we have that? Yeah. Your plans are working out. What do we have? Dry desert. Yeah, I feel like you've been on a solo mission for a while, and maybe you felt like things were, very slow, very distant. Everything that you've went through is paying off, pile number 2. Everything that you've overcome, any moments where you felt alone or isolated, and I completely feel you could have felt like you were different, or you didn't belong here, stranded on an island all by yourself, and that's all going to change, because people are going to look to you for guidance and support. How did you get through this? How did you overcome this? I myself experienced something like that, and because of everything that you've went through and everything you've overcome, that's why you have the knowledge, why you have the tools, because you put the work in. You did this. You achieved this success. This is your destiny. You healed these karmic lessons. You did the work, and you should have acknowledged that about yourself. Appreciate that. Give yourself like big hugs and congratulatory, applause, because you did it. And it's a 31, so that's 4, which is another masculine number, but it's also about stability. You've gained solid ground here. And we have home. I love that. Coming home to yourself, your true self, your destiny. And we have encouragement. So there's a lot of encouragement coming in. And we have a 9 and a 9. 99 is about new beginnings, a unique path, having faith in your abilities, and letting go of the past. Yeah, moving on to better horizons. Oh, I'm so happy for you, pile number 2. You are so strong, and you should be so proud of yourself, and your higher self is giving you so much hugs and so much encouragement to stand in your truth, to share your wisdom and knowledge to those who are deserving of it. Because you've done so much work. And your light is getting bigger and brighter. Alright, pile number 2, I'm going to close your reading now. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope this reading resonated with you. Please like and subscribe. If you feel like sharing your story below, I would love to hear from you guys. If you don't know what to say, just let me know pile number 2 resonated with you all. I'm sending y'all lots of love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Hello to the collective who chose pile number 3. This key right here. So what I was noticing about this key is I saw like the moon and the cycles. So I feel like there's something about cycles connected to this pile here. So let's see what door is opening up for you. We have the door of patience, endurance, perseverance, resilience, and steadfastness. Okay, so, and with the cycles card, so there's some shifts taking place for you right now, and you're being asked to be patient while things move. Maybe there has been the ending of something and there's the beginning of something new. And anytime we're going through any of those transitions, there's this like pause that we're asked to take so that things can fall into a place and come into alignment. So let's take, I want to get some tarot cards before we get into the oracle cards. Let's see what information wants to come through with the tarot. Okay. Alright, pile number 3, please. Messages for pile number 3. Oh. Let's get a few more. Pile number 3, these want to come. Messages for pile number 3. This one. Okay. Alright. Let's go with those. Number 3, we have the Page of Swords, a thirst for knowledge. Okay. So, yeah, I feel like you're on the path of seeking. There's some information, new information that's going to be revealed to you. Or there's something that you're learning here, and you're at the beginning stages of learning something. Understanding. We have the Ace of Cups. Overflowing love, new beginnings. This could be new relationships, new relationship with yourself, something that is this overflowing of happiness and success, of love. Take what resonates. We have the Two of Swords. Yeah, there's something that maybe you can't see right now. Maybe the path moving forward is unclear for you, which is why you're being asked to have some patience, because there's something new that's about to begin for you. Pile number 3. Sorry guys, I had to pause the video. Okay, so oops, turn my fan down. Okay. Okay, let's see what else we have. We have the 10 of Cups. Woohoo! That's amazing. So we have the celebration for you, where I feel like you're being asked to pause and take some time out, because there's this beautiful, like, happy ending that's coming in for you. And there's something, you know, with this new beginning here, this overflowing of love and support and abundance and harmony, healthy relationships, love, support, peace, satisfaction, more light, more happiness. And we have the Page of Cups. Oh, okay. So this may have to do with something with the relationships, because I'm getting several cups coming through here. Very young. Okay. So maybe some of you have been waiting for a certain individual in your life to like step up, to maybe mature. Just take what resonates for you. I have a couple of things coming out for this reading here. But this is about a youthful beginning, or stepping onto a path that you're not quite sure how to navigate yet, because you have completed something, an initiation of sorts, some type of healing, and now you're like unsure of where to go and how to move forward. And that's why you need to pause and wait at the moment. But hold on to your dream, hold on to your focus, hold on to your desires, the things that you're wanting for yourself. There's this new creativity, something new is being formed. So we have the 8 of Coins, nice, okay. This is about dedication, working hard to complete something. Mastering yourself, mastering a craft. Keep up the hard work, whatever it is, whatever, maybe you're being asked to see something from a different perspective here. Because we have the Swords coming through with the Cups, being able to see both sides of the situation. To it. Yes, keep doing the work, keep doing what you're doing, have patience, everything's going to work out for you. And then we have the 8 of Swords coming through. Yeah, okay, so we have these 2 women who have like a blindfold over their eyes, and I feel like there's something you can't see, it's unclear. Maybe your thoughts are clouding your vision, they're preventing you from seeing the truth. Maybe you've been, battling the negative self-talk. Maybe the, afraid things aren't going to work out, and you're being asked to control your fears, to face your fears, and to bring more love and excitement into your life, more understanding, more peace. Let go of the fear, because it can prevent you from moving forward and from seeing that you are like your own worst enemy sometimes, because you can let your fears and your doubts and your worries block the good things from coming in, prevent you from moving forward or from seeing the good things in your life, because our mind can sometimes fool us into seeing, only the worst case scenarios and the worst timelines possible, versus, focusing on the good stuff. And that's the thing, like sometimes, like it's good to know, okay, like what's the worst thing that can happen? Like, this, and this. Like, if I choose this, this may happen, this may happen. Okay, worst case scenario, that would happen. And it's only to prepare you for, if that was to happen, what would your solution be? How would you navigate that territory? But not to focus on that. Okay, you want to focus on the highest possible outcome, the highest timeline. Yes, that may happen, but I'm rooting for this. That's the one I want to avoid. I don't want to have to struggle. I don't want to have to go through traumas. I don't want to have to go through all this stress and worries. I want to achieve this goal. I want my happy ending, and focusing on that, lending your energy to that, versus focusing on the things that are, the negative, because it puts you in that victim mindset instead of the victorious, the one who's the achiever and the one who is successful. It puts you in the place of being a victim in a low vibration where things don't work out for you, because that's your mindset. And you're being asked to shift your perspective and to have patience. Just because you don't see something manifesting in the physical world yet doesn't mean that it's not coming towards you, that it's not in the works. And it's things in the spiritual realm, like we can have a dream, we can have a vision, we can have something we want to manifest, but it takes time to build substance, to build density before it can manifest in the physical realm. So it has to work through all these layers before it can gather up enough, atoms, enough density to finally physically manifest in this form. And sometimes, we can get frustrated when we don't see the efforts of our hard work manifest into our reality yet, because we're used to, and when we're spiritual, when our light bodies, we're in our higher self, everything's energy, so everything is like instantaneous. We don't have to worry about the density here of Earth. But Earth is so dense, it takes time for everything to become physical, because it is energy, but it's compressed energy. So it's so heavy and so dense, it's compacted. So it takes time for things to work their way down. And when we get into a fearful mindset, that actually creates blockages. It slows the energy down, and it slows the manifestation down, and it prevents you from seeing the results of all of your hard work, from your intentions and everything. And sometimes when we have those fearful mind, that fearful, thought, we need to stop and question, where does this fear come from? Because I don't want this fear controlling me and trying to dictate how I'm going to live my life, and make me worry that I'm not good enough, or my manifestation's not coming in, I'm not deserving, I'm not working hard enough. It's going within and seeing that sometimes we can prevent ourselves from seeing the truth of the situation because of our own fear and our own perceptions. And it's changing that inner voice, the narrative that plays on in our mind, and in our getting back into our heart space where we know our worth and we know our value, and we know that we are deserving and that it is manifesting. Ooh, we have the sun coming out. Yes, seeing the light. Freeing yourself from these negative thoughts, from these false perceptions, from the illusion, having more positivity, being more optimistic about life, not being so pessimistic about things, We've got the 9 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like, there may be a little bit of fear of things not coming in for you, that success not being there. But it is, we have the sun coming through, and that's a yes card. That is about fulfillment, is about freedom, is about success, and it's a yes card, lots of light, lots of happiness coming in for you, and it's shining the light on the fears, on the shadows, understanding where they come from. This may have been something, from your childhood that you remember. This was, the narrative, this was the programming. I remember when I was a kid, that story that you have to, work hard for everything you get, and to a degree, yes, but it's not because you're not worthy and not deserving of things. It's you have to apply effort if you want to achieve success and achieve a goal. We all have that mountain that we have to climb in order to reach the top. So there has to be effort applied, but it doesn't mean money doesn't come easy, because it can. And it does when we believe in it. When we believe that we're worthy and deserving, and that money, that abundance is available all around us. And it's focusing on the abundance that's already in our life, and being grateful and having gratitude for the things that are in our life every single day. And the more you focus on a space of gratitude and seeing where there is love, where there is abundance around you everywhere, focusing on that brings it in quicker. It creates that channel of receiving energy, pouring into your own cup. I am worthy, I am deserving, I am successful, I am financially liberated, money easily flows into me. I am grateful for, the abundance of air. I'm grateful for the abundance of light, for the abundance of, the trees, for plant life, for the food, for my home. It's focusing even on the smallest, simplest things like that, which aren't truly simple. They are necessary, and they're things that we take for granted every day. But when we focus on the abundance that's in our lives, it generates more abundance. And it's shifting into that narrative and that storyline, which creates that life for you, that reality for you, besides focusing on the negative. And, it's clearing the lens here. I don't want to focus on the negative. I don't want to focus on it's never going to happen. I want to focus on good things coming into my life so that they do, because I know they are, and they will. I'm going to get you a few more cards because we have these little empty spaces here, and yeah, we will fill them up. We have the Wheel of Fortune. That's what's up. Let me turn it around because it's upside down. All right, so we have chances, life cycles, good luck, karma, destiny. Your fortune is changing. And then we have the solar eclipse. Big changes are coming. This says about 6 months, there's a big transformation going to take place for you, which means that you might start seeing this manifest in your reality. So just have patience. Know that it's coming. Work on those I ams. I am good enough. I am valuable. I am successful. I'm achieving my goals. You know, be in that place of receiving. Okay? Sorry, I had to pause the video. The goats were coming through and they're so loud. Yeah, but there is this, also with the solar eclipse, yeah, the light is about to be revealed. Something's going to be revealed to you, where you're going to start seeing things from a different perspective. Alright, so just keep going. Pile number 3. Ooh, you got the 6 of air. And this is about understanding that all of your choices are the result, that your life is a result of your choices, right? That you've made the choices. And this is about understanding how everything in your life is because of the decisions that you've made. And that you are the one who is responsible for, you know, creating your happiness for yourself. And that seeing how everything lines up, how everything comes together, I feel like you're going to be receiving some heart healing, some understanding of your truth, and your ability to make choices to create the life that you want. And how our thoughts and our belief systems are what create our reality, and that you have the power to make the choice, to choose the reality, to choose your life, how you want to live your life. You know, are you going to focus on the doom and the gloom and the dramas and the past, or are you going to focus and put your attention to what you want to create for yourself? And it's by being fully engaged in the present moment and acknowledging how far you've come, everything you've been through, all the blessings that are currently in your life, whether you realize it or not. You know, it's focusing on the center in your heart space and having an intention, an idea, a dream of the higher timeline, the better future that you want to be existing on, and then anchoring that into your heart space by acknowledging that it's already here. And that's how manifestation works. You have to act as if it's already here, and that's what brings it to you, because you are magnetizing that belief system, that dream, that reality to you by anchoring yourself in it. So if you're wanting a new home and you're wanting a new relationship, you can say, I am so in love with my partner. I'm so grateful for my partner. I love them. I'm so grateful to have found the love of my life. You know, I am lovable. I am worthy. I'm deserving of love. You know, those types of things, because that creates that funnel of energy to pour into you, so that light comes in, that manifestation comes towards you, versus somebody who's saying, you know, I'm never going to find the right person, I'm always alone, I never have this, I never have that. You know, that mindset, that mentality, it drains the energy, it pulls it down, and it pushes it away, because it's almost like you're chasing something and saying, I don't have it, therefore it's not in me, and so I'm not creating it. So you have to change that mindset, change that belief system, change your words, and start speaking into existence what it is that you want to create for yourself, the life that you want to be living, where you see yourself, and visualize yourself living that life, having that love, having that experience. I don't like the term fake it till you make it, because it's not fake, it is real, and you're trying to put yourself in that reality by knowing that it is possible, and that's you, and that's your destiny. This is your karma. This is what you are worthy and deserving of. Oh, we have the 5 of fire. Yeah, this conflict, this battle within yourself, this battle between, the negative and the positive, and seeing, being happy and then being sad, or, worrying so much instead of being, content and happy and knowing and being patient and waiting for that ship to come in. And you can even say those things. My ship's coming in. I know it. Miracles are coming in for me. I'm going to have my happiness. I'm going to feel emotionally fulfilled. I'm living my destiny. Like, I am so grateful for all that is in my life, for all of my blessings. It's focusing on that. And it takes a little bit of time, because you're shifting these old narratives, these old programs, these old patterns and thoughts and behaviors and ways of seeing things, and training yourself to see things from a different perspective. Seeing things from the lighter spectrum versus the darker spectrum. Being more optimistic. And there's this battle between heart and mind, where the mind is always fearful and always focused on the negative, until there's this healing, till the heart starts teaching the mind how to perceive and see things. And that's what needs to take place. You need to listen to the heart, focus on your heart, focus on, this is your center. Come into your center. Anytime the mind starts getting into a fearful place and wanting to be, pessimistic and negative, start training the mind. No, that was the past. That was our old ways of believing and seeing. I know my worth. I know I'm deserving of this, because I know my heart. I know who I am. I know my intentions. I know that I'm worthy and deserving. I deserve to have happiness. I deserve to feel happy and to have success. Because I'm a hard worker, I do the work. I am worthy and deserving. I'm not my past. I'm not the things that happened to me. And it's learning the lessons from that, but it's listening and training your inner voice, and not to be in conflict with yourself. It's finding that harmony and that balance within. Ooh, look at that. Yes, okay. This is self-mastery, being honest with yourself, being your true self, taking the mask off. Things are going to start coming in. Things are going to start blooming. You're going to see your success, because you're shifting your focus. You're going to start focusing on success and your happiness and the things that you deserve in your life. Your true self. Not the illusion, not the past, not the pain, not the fears, not your worries. You have apocalypses. That is so funny. This is the breaking down of the old patterns. And so the ground is unstable, right? Because this is new territory for you. This is something new you're learning. And so have patience with yourself if you find yourself going back into that fearful mindset of, I'm never going to have, and, whatever it is. Be gentle with yourself. Have patience with yourself. And just correct that mindset. The thing is, the shift is that you are becoming more aware of it. And the more you catch yourself doing it, I heard it. I heard that inner critic. I heard that negative self-talk. And thank you for showing me where I need to love myself more and shift my perspective. So this is what our new focus is now. We're focusing on this. So, and you just keep doing that over and over until eventually that becomes the new mindset. That's the new program. So have patience with yourself. It's going to be okay, right? This is the work that you're being asked to employ right now. You will get there. Oh, you have the heart card coming out. Yeah. Protect the heart. Listen to the heart. Be gentle with yourself as you're going through this phase, right? There is a lot of growth that's going to be taking place. You're learning something new, so you have to have patience with yourself, right? You're learning not to have that negative self-talk, and it takes time to correct that perspective. It took me like 2 years to get rid of one of the ones that I had, you know what I mean? And it's just been a constant application of affirmations to myself and loving myself and correcting that negative self-talk. It takes time, but you can do it. We have past life guides, karmic lessons, and present assistance. So your guides are working with you. This is something that has been with you for several incarnations, several cycles. So it's an old pattern and old programming. That's why it's so hard sometimes, because it's something that's ingrained in our DNA, and it's been with us for so many lives where we felt undeserving, not good enough, or there's a reason why, you know, we felt like we can't be ourselves and be our true selves because we've had to hide who we really are for so long, or else we would be killed if we spoke out our truth. You know, if we were healers and we healed people, we would be called witches because we had this ancient knowledge with us that we knew how to heal people, because we were old souls, you know, and some of us didn't come from earth. So we have this wisdom within us. And, you know, there's just been so much pain and so much trauma and so many wars, so much repression, and, you know, on this planet. So there's been so many things that we are overcoming in these lifetimes now. So have patience with yourself. All right, pile number 3, you have decisions and contemplations. Yep. This is the journey that you're going on. Okay. To pass, there is a choice, a decision. You can continue to stay in this cycle and repeat these lessons, or you can choose to evolve and grow out of them and step on a new wheel, have a new life, take a chance and expand and grow into a new phase of becoming and learning and growing. Oh, we have receive, be open. Exactly, open your heart to receive. We have generosity, gifts, and assistance. Ask for help. Ask your guides to help work with you and help show you what needs to be healed within, so that you can shift this negative mindset, shift these old patterns, you know. But the more that you pour into your heart, the more you affirm, you know, the things that you're grateful for every day, and you learn to become more masterful at being grateful for things, you'll start to see things start coming in easy for you, and things start working out for you. Like, whoa, signs and synchronicities start to appear in your life. You start to become, there's more things to be grateful for, start to flood into your reality, because you've opened up that channel to receive blessings, to receive love. And we have the feminine energy, which is the receiving energy. This is how we learn to receive, when we tune into that feminine energy. The feminine vessel is the receptive vessel, and it is our left hand. It's how we receive the love, receive the blessings that we give out to others. This is our creative masculine hand, where we put energy out into the world, where our creations get put out into the world. And this is our receptive receiving hand. And if you've been in the, I'm going to work hard and I'm going to do, and I'm going to, you know, give unto others as I, you know, as I want to give unto myself, as I want others to give unto me, but you haven't quite mastered the receptive energy yet. And the receptive energy comes from slowing down, from resting, from taking a break, from opening yourself up. And you open yourself up by being grateful, by saying, I'm so grateful for the blessings that are in my life. I'm grateful for each new day that I wake up. And every morning you can wake up, before you start your day, just start off with several things that you're grateful for, and then before you go to bed, say a few more things that you're grateful for. And the more you stay in that feminine energy of being open and receptive and grateful, the more energy starts to pour in, the more blessings start to pour in, And you're going to see so much change and shift in your reality, pile number 3. Look, we have peaks of joy. Hell, yes. This is a master number here, known as the Master Teacher. It is about spiritually understanding things and being, guided by the Christ consciousness, by being in your heart space, by listening to your heart and letting your heart be your guide, be your teacher, and setting yourself free from these old illusions, from these old patterns, from these old ways of living life, And we have into the known, into the unknown. Okay, so this one is you're going on a spiritual journey here. And we have another woman who is blindfold. This is where it requires your trust for you to take a leap of faith, because you're stepping onto a path that is unknown to you, and you have to just surrender, and you have to have faith, and you have to trust that no matter what, you're always being guided. It's this trust fall here. I am surrendering to Source, to Spirit, to Creator, to God, because I know that everything on my path is meant to serve me or teach me something. And so I know that everything that is meant for me is on its way to me, because I am deserving, and I am worthy, and I am lovable, and I am successful. Like, I know who I am. I know my worth. I know my value. All these things. That's what you need to start working with and heading towards. And it's about surrendering and having patience and knowing that everything is working out for you, pile number 3. It can be hard because, when you're stepping on an unknown path, our mind wants to know what's going to happen, what's next, when is this going to get here, how am I going to do this? We want to know all the ins and the outs, but that's where taming the mind and going back into our heart and going into a place of I know, and I am worthy, and I trust, and I am grateful, all those things, staying in that feminine space of receiving and trusting, and knowing that you will be guided every step of the way, right? And to just be more in the present moment. Don't focus too much on the future. If the past comes up, it's just showing you where you need to have more love and more healing and more understanding for yourself and your experience. There may be some gift or a tool or a lesson that needs to be learned so that you can end that pattern, end that cycle, and begin a new one, a new pattern. Get rid of this old pattern, insert new pattern. Old belief system, new belief system. Old ways of seeing things, new ways of seeing things, okay? You got this, pile number 3. Unlock that door. You can do it. Keep at it, one step at a time, all right? Have trust and faith. Everything's going to work out for you. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and close your reading. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm sending you so much love. If this reading resonated with you, please like and subscribe. Comment below if you feel like sharing your story. Or if you don't know what to say, just let me know pile number 3 resonated with you. I wish you guys all my loves. I will see you in future readings. Y'all take care. Have a blessed day.